Thanks, Yvette. Now, as the face of hit TV show Spartacus, Andy Whitfield was fast becoming one of Hollywood's hottest stars.
However, at just age 38 years old, Andy was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma and tragically lost his battle 16 months ago, leaving behind his wife Vashti and their 2 children. His
memory now lives on in a moving feature film documentary set for release later this year. Vashti joins us now to tell us more. Vashti, Andy was an action hero on screen, but and obviously your personal hero. What attracted you to him in the first place?
Actually, all the opposites to what you've just outlined. He was incredibly shy, a complete geek, like slightly goofy, but so humble in his obvious beauty, you know, inside and out. And I just, you know, I was very moved and drawn to that.
Yeah,
and he was hot.
I was reading that you were saying that he sort of didn't know how good-looking he was.
I think, you know, honestly, and I say this and I'm careful as I say it because it always moves me to tears, there's a little scene in the doco where you see him speaking, and even when he became the man I always knew he could be, he was never aware of how beautiful he was, you know, and that was part of why I think so many people were drawn to him.
Yeah.
And now why so many people have started following me and honouring his legacy and how to, you know, encourage other people to live a meaningful life, which is what he was after.
The success of Spartacus, Blood and Sand, I mean, that came a little bit later in his career. You know, I mean, that must have really turned your world upside down, you know, to all of a sudden have that success.
I always say this, you ask for an extraordinary life, you get one. You get Spartacus, you get cancer. You know, like you get these extraordinary things happen to you. So when he got Spartacus, we'd manifested really hard to make that happen. And so it wasn't really a surprise. It's like we had 2 small babies.
Yeah.
That was harder juggling. You know, how do we fulfill this and honour this and do it really well and be great parents? That was the, you know, the crazy stuff.
Can I just go back to, you know, when we all found out about Andy's condition, and it was such a shock, and I think we were talking just off air then about the fact that you've got this really amazing specimen of a guy. He's really, he's at the top peak of his form, and then we found out about this. How did you guys actually find out? When in the process did you find out about it?
We'd just come back from doing publicity for season 1 in LA and had done the whole red carpet, movie star, Andy getting mobbed in the street type of thing.
Right.
And came back and he'd had this very, you know, very strong back pain over the Christmas period. So it was in the new year. And the back pain got so bad that finally, after doing the sort of physio run that everybody thought was sports related because of the, you know, the body and the action.
Yeah.
And some poor sports doctor finally gave him a scan, and on the scan, it was the moment I got the call where we realised it was something much darker and a whole other journey that we're about to begin. So it was at the beginning of season 2 and the end of season 1.
Wow. And Andy made the decision to diarise the last few months in the form of a documentary which is going to be released later this year. Why was it so important to him to do that?
Well, I just need to correct the details there. When Andy was about to start filming season 2, we both went and got together as a kind of symbol of all you've got is today. We both went and got Be Here Now, which is the name of the documentary, and it was the day before he went for insurance testing, just to make sure he had the all clear before they started filming. Right. And that's where we found out that he, in fact, had cancer again.
Right.
And so that is where we decided, and he decided, that if we were going to do this, we needed to share something. And he said, if I'm going to go through this journey again, I want to find out everything I can as to why I'm here and what I can do to really honour myself and sharing what's going on with everybody who doesn't have great support. And so it was actually at the beginning of that. So we filmed for a whole year.
Right.
All the way up to Andy's departure and after, just to follow myself and the children and look at how you come back to life after losing someone you love and how you honour that person's legacy to fulfil the life you're given, which is why I started the blog Maybe McQueen and why it's growing into something now where people are really joining a community where they feel they can get support after they've lost someone or come out of that journey themselves and really, you know, grab life by the short and curly.
Exactly, and start living life again.
It is such a beautiful story, though. I know it's very tragic, but you two having this similar vision, like, OK, well, we're going to give back. We're going to turn this into positives for others, even though this is going to inevitably be tragic for our family.
Yeah. Look, that was our philosophy, and very much mine, is that, you know, if you don't share what's going on for you, how do you encourage learning in others? It's like being a parent. If you don't talk about something and you just brush it under the carpet, how do you grow?
And that's what this blog is about for you.
That's what Maybe McQueen community and the Maybe McQueen blog and the video diaries and the video blogs that are going to be launching in March are all about. It's about how to create a community where if you share things that are going on, and not just the deep and dark stuff, but the invigorating stuff, the stuff that coming out of you know, hard times brings, you enable others to learn and therefore grow.
Yeah.
And how are the kids sorry to interrupt?
How are the kids? They're gorgeous. Yeah. They're gorgeous. You know, it's a roller coaster. You go up and down and all around with that, and you just handle it day by day, but they've flourished. And I look at my little son, who, if anyone's seen pictures of him, looks like a mini Andy as a man, you know, extraordinarily. It's quite strange. For his mother and for me, I look at this little person and I see these, like, grumpy looks and things like that, and I see Andy staring at me, which is gorgeous. He's very sensitive, and he beautifully will get up one day and have a little cry and say, I miss my dad, and we talk about it. We don't brush it under the carpet, and then he moves through it. And by the end of the day, you say, you know, you've been on tender hooks all day, and you say, how are you? And he's like, oh yeah, awesome, did this, blah, 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 blah. And they've let it go. And it's a good thing to learn from our children in that let it up and down and move on.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Vashti,
pleasure.
Yeah, really inspiring. Go to the blog, and best of luck with the doco too.
Maybe
later
McQueen.
in the year.
Yeah, Maybe McQueen relaunching March.
Thank you so much, Vashti,
Thanks,
for coming
Vashti.
in.
Thank you.